I don't know why this is such a hard conversation to have.
It's not a hard conversation to have. We was going a totally different direction. Y'all brought it back to this.
Okay.
I mean, I was speaking to your point, Slimmy, of when you said about martial law. I think I'm just saying I think this is totally different because I do think that people are willing to give certain freedoms because you already have. I can go down the list of the things y'all allow that are totally against the Constitution. I can go down the list, but you allow it to happen because you like certain comforts, you like certain things, so you allow it to happen. However, this is nothing new because, like I said, DC is a federalized city. Most people that don't live here don't know it, don't see it every day. We see it every day. If you're a person that has grown up in DC, you know just about every federal agency here. Okay. So at the end of the day, it's not nothing new. But what I'm trying to get through to you is what else do you do when these people don't control their children? Not at all. Their children run amok. Nobody does anything. They kill other people that visit here, that live here, whether they're in the hood or whether they're affluent. So again, what do you do with a group of people like that? Other than get them in line.
Cool. Give me a second, Mika. Why is Quentin involved in a conversation about ice cream and pecan pies? In the chat.
I don't know, but I like ice cream, just not pecan pie.
Before we go to Carrie, what is Quentin doing, y'all?
You could ask.
Being Quentin.
Quentin?
I love me some pecan pie with vanilla ice cream on top.
Is that what they say in Oklahoma? Pecan?
No, they say pecan.
Mm.
I'm sorry. Blame it on our streets. She wrote me into this conversation.
I'm literally reading y'all the whole thread in the chat. I'm like, what is this nigga doing?
It's I brought up Brahms. You ever heard of Brahms? Any of y'all ever heard of Brahms?
That's not what we're gonna do. We're not gonna do that. Carrie,
I never heard of Brahms.
Carrie, what are your thoughts on the subject?
Come on, Bluebell. What?
I think that if there's enough crime happening and if Trump has the authority to get involved with,
I'm sorry, Carrie.
based off of what Mika explained.
Hold on 1 second, Carrie. 1 second, Carrie. I'm sorry. I just don't want to forget one thing.
All right.
You don't know what I'm gonna say. You have no idea what I'm gonna say. Nothing.
I could guess the category.
What's the category?
Something about me coming here late.
Nope.
Or hitting you up.
Nope.
Oh, he called
you, or you having me in the back, whatever you call it, for like 20 minutes.
Nope.
Okay, so Carrie, Anton proved to us that he called you back and you didn't answer.
Literally, how fast did I call her back?
But I called you first.
Yeah, but
how fast did I call her back?
Like a minute later, if that.
So, number one, I wasn't even going to talk about that.
Wait a minute. So hold on. So we skip over the fact that you didn't answer when I called and go to the fact that I didn't pick up when you called me back.
Sometimes people miss.
I was actually doing a review video when you called me, but literally the minute that I got done, I called you back and you didn't answer.
I went downstairs. My phone was on like 3%, so it was literally on my charger.
That's fair, Carrie. That's fair. I also want to do this really quickly. I also want to do this really quickly. Carrie, you very much got your Nino going on. Just want to say that. Just want to say Carrie got her Nino Brown popping. All right. But we there. All right. I'm sorry, Carrie. I didn't want to derail you too much.
That's why you had me sitting in the back for 20 minutes.
No, I didn't hear you jump in the back because I was putting together the next subject. That was my fault. I
It's
apologize.
okay.
I take
I accept
responsibility
apology.
for that. That was my fault. I do take responsibility for that.
Based off of what you guys were talking about here and the very little that I know about what Trump is doing, I don't really see, I see more that makes sense with him doing it than not. You know what I'm saying? I get it because there'll be more presence. There might be intimidation to people. It might be an inconvenience. Certainly, somebody can abuse their privilege as being like national whoever is doing this. I don't know if this is National Guard. I don't know if this is I don't know like who the crew is that has been called into play. I've read about the curfews and things like that. I think that if crime is an issue, it's necessary. And then from a strategic standpoint, what I did read was that Trump is kind of using this as an opportunity to demonstrate what can be done if the federal government gets involved in areas where crime is an issue. And so regardless of how I might feel about my I don't know if it's freedoms being taken away. If crime is high, don't we need to do something about it? Like, just from a simple perspective, if there's crime over here and it's not being stopped, and somebody comes in and wants to try to do something to stop it, why would I take issue with them trying to do something to stop it? Especially if when asked what the alternative is, it's like, I don't know. And that was the part that I got thrown off with what you were saying, Slimmy, because I wasn't clear on what you felt the alternative should be. So I don't
People
know.
in
I
the
just
chat saying that he didn't go to the hoods. What are you talking about? That's where most of them are at. And then two, crime is not down overall. Not only are they cooking the books here, they change how they classify stuff. So instead of classifying something as a burglary, it gets classified as a theft, which is not a felony.
Yeah, they basically knocking it down on a misdemeanor instead of a felony in order to make it seem like crime is down.
And if you go on X, you'll definitely see all of the black people, not white, black, talking about thank God because their children are shot every day. Okay. Their sons, their other teens, okay, walking to school. And then let's just say the numbers were correct. They're down from 400 and something. Now you're down to 200. Whoop-de-doo. It's still 200 people dead. On top of that, the people that have been carjacked and injured, like that's wild that liberals keep saying, well, crime is down overall. It's not down. If I gotta pick up 200 and something bodies.
If
what I don't
one
understand is
person,
how is this sorry.
if one person dies unnecessarily, that it could have been prevented, that's one too many for me. If one baby dies, if one person, like if one, you know what happens if you kill a police officer? They utilize the full force of the police in order to get justice and to find and track down who the fuck hit a police officer. They don't fuck around. If one cop dies, they go on a hunt. They scour the whole city. They shake down everybody. But we supposed to be okay because it's so normal for us to use to experience crime and have PTSD. We're supposed to be okay if one person dies. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, that's just not okay. It should never be okay if anybody loses their life unnecessarily. And for us to be so normalized and for it to be so regular, motherfucker should, you can go to certain countries and you can leave your shit on a car. You can leave your stuff out and nobody will bother your stuff. Nobody. Because they are tough on fucking crime. You can go to certain places and leave your car unlocked. I shouldn't have to worry about locking my car, but we do that as a preventative measure. And it doesn't mean that we shouldn't lock our cars. But what I am saying is the onus should be to hold the criminals accountable, not for us to prevent ourselves from being victims. And so honestly, I just think that we have to have a change of how we see things, but all of us have been born into the fact that we just understood that the hood is just going to be the hood and it's just going to be fucked up. And so we just got to accept it. And any kind of progress is great and we should celebrate that shit. And I don't agree with that. I don't agree with it. I think that we should take every single resource away from the things that don't matter until we get all of this shit together. Ain't no more social services until it ain't no more crime.
I got a
What
question.
are they? Oh,
That's how I say. Go ahead, Slimmy, you can ask a question.
If they could, you just kind of like answered your own question in a way though, because they'll go hard if an officer get killed.
But
They
we
will
should
definitely go hard if an officer gets killed, and they will find out what happened. But they don't do that for everybody.
They're doing it right now.
well,
That's
but hold
literally
on,
what we
hold
doing.
on. Can I just say something real quick to that though? But the everyday person doesn't put their life on the line like a cop does.
That's
I mean,
correct.
there's got to be some kind of perk. You can say what you want. There's got to be some kind of perk to fighting for the country, for representing people, for like people's safety, protecting people. There's got to be a perk to that.
Wait. You can't have
There
it both
does.
ways. Now you new to the conversation, so I'll give you that.
I've
But
been listening though.
you
I've been
can't have
listening.
it. You cannot have it both ways.
What's the
You
both
can't.
way?
You cannot say that. You can't say that cops can go all out for cops, but then when a regular person dies, they can't go all out to figure out who did it.
Yeah, but when they do, they call it bothering the people in the neighborhood. It's a shakedown like they're doing right now because they're going door to door.
No,
Oh
no,
my
no, 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 no,
God. No, when
no. You
I'll tell
can't.
you exactly what
You
it
can't. You cannot. You can't do that, Mika, because that's
Mika
not the
is
case.
right.
No. You're wrong because that's not the case everywhere, in
I
every
didn't say everywhere.
scenario.
No,
That's
the
not the
the
case
the
in
never
every. That's
system
not the case.
heard.
That's not even
you
the case in 90%. It is so many unsolved murders everywhere, and I'm not talking about just the hood. It is so many missing people everywhere. So you
okay.
cannot say that.
You
Okay,
cannot
but
say what?
the factor, but hold on. One of the factors that is missing here is people need to learn how to advocate. People need to learn how to advocate for themselves. If you're a cop, to me, the infrastructure should have something that's already built in place that advocates on behalf of cops because of what they do. I don't care. I know there's crooked cops, but there's a lot that are not, and they put their life on the line. So to me, yes, there should be something in that system that advocates for them. If you are a regular person and something happens, guess who needs to advocate for you? Your family, your friends, people who have been killed, who have been injured, who have had issues with
It's a
things.
contradiction.
That is, how is that a
But how is
what
it?
am I
But
trying
It's a
to say?
Slimmy,
contradiction. It's
What
a
am,
contradiction.
Slimmy, how is it a contradiction? If something happened to one of the people on the panel, right?
No,
We all on this panel are going to be more incentivized to go harder because we have a closer connection to the people on this panel. I'm not expecting for everybody in the black community to give a fuck about if something happened to the people on this panel because they're not as close. Those are people that see each other every day. They run into each other every day. They know each other's children. They know each other's wives. Of course, they're going to be incentivized to go harder because they understand what it takes to actually be on a job. If a firefighter dies, then of course they're going to be, you know what I'm saying, bigger advocates for whatever it is that happened. But what I'm saying is we finally got somebody, and we don't have to agree with everything he does inside, whatever, because they're different, all of us got different political ideologies. All of us have different perspectives of how it is that we see our moral compass, whatever, how we was raised. But I mean, if they say, listen, Slimmy, you kind of you on the opposite ends of the spectrum because it's like you talking in an oxymoron because
no, I'm not.
you'll say, well, crime is just gonna be crime, but then you
Not what I
saying
said. It's not what I said.
you All right, Slimmy.
That's not what I said. I said people are going to sin.
But you said that you don't agree that they deploying the full force of the government in
That's
order
not
to
what I
make that
said,
community
man. You
safe.
can't. I said
You
I
did.
don't
You
want
said
it to
it's not
be. I
good. You
said
said it's
I
not
don't
good
want
for
it
black
to
people.
be. I said I don't want it to be martial law. Then Mika
You
said.
said,
Then
you
Mika.
said
Wait, wait,
I
wait, wait,
asked
wait,
you
wait, 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 wait,
specifically
wait, wait,
if it
wait,
was
wait.
good for
I
black
will go
people.
through the whole
You
thing. I
said
will
it's
go through the.
no, Slimmy. I asked you specifically if it's good for black people. You said it's not
No.
good. You said it's not good for anybody, not even
No.
and black people
No.
included,
And then I.
for
And then
them
what
to
I. And then what did I say? What did I say? Because
You
it's looking
said
like
it's
it
not
steps
good
towards
for
martial
anybody.
law.
You said it's not good for anybody for them to deploy the full force of the government to stop the crime in these communities in DC. That is what you
No,
said.
that's not what I said.
It is
I
what you
said
said.
I don't think it's good for the federal government to be everywhere in any city or town. I do not agree with that because it's like martial because the next step is martial law.
Slimmy, I asked you specifically, and I referred back to the question that's at the bottom of the page. I said, is it good or bad for them to take over DC and then deploy the full force of the law to stop the crime for black people in DC? I targeted Washington, DC. You refused to answer the question, and you said it's not good for anybody. It don't matter if it's black people or not.
And what I say after that? What I say after that? Because you can't just do that.
I don't have
You
to
can't
say
just do
anything. You
you
can add the
I
additional information
literally
you can say
said
it.
because I don't want it to be martial law. I've been saying the same thing the whole time. I've
Okay.
never changed that. I've never
Okay.
changed that. I
But
don't want
we're
any
not.
steps
But
towards
see,
martial law.
this is why I tried to get you to answer the question specifically, because I wasn't asking about martial law. I was asking about the police force and the full force of the law in DC for black people. You kept changing it into martial law. That's why
I'm
I was
not
asking
changing
you
it. I'm
specifically
not changing
about
it into
that
martial
question.
law. I said I don't want anything where the next step is going to be martial law. This is very much
We're not
answering the
talking about
question.
the next steps. Let me be talking about what's happening right now in DC. Right at this very minute, that is what we were talking about.
So at
Nobody
no
asked
point
about
at no
martial
so
law.
so at no point up here
You,
we don't
you
add
included
context
that.
to any
You
questions.
included that into the
We
conversation.
don't. So at
Nobody
no
cares
point in,
about
in
martial
any
law.
of these conversations we don't add context ever. We don't ever add context to our answers.
This is crazy.
So Slimmy, why don't if they don't want anything with the police or anything that's going to resemble martial law, how come then why don't the communities police themselves? Why don't they have certain things where they can stop a lot of the crime before the police actually get there? Why isn't this a thing?
Where's that a thing at?
In a lot of neighborhoods.
I could literally say anything can lead to anything. I could say, I can make up something and say, man, I don't want this to lead to black people getting shot by the police. Like, I can literally make up any scenario in order to derail the conversation and be something completely different than what is happening in real time.
Can I ask a
In real
question?
time, I could make up anything and say, well, I don't want it to lead to this, or I don't want it to lead to that. I could make up any situation whatsoever. But that's why
So, Slimmy, are you saying you don't want it to lead to martial law in DC or where? Like, you don't want it to lead to martial law where?
I don't want the federal government stomping around in any city, and the next step is martial law. I don't know how else I could
The
say it.
net. Okay, because the reason I'm asking
I
is
don't understand
because
why y'all keep trying to rehash this and eat
I'm
over and
I'm
over.
just I'm not rehashing. I'm just asking a question, and I'm asking it because I wasn't completely clear of all of what martial law is and who can declare it. So based off of what I looked up, The state can declare it. Governors can declare martial law on their state, and then it can be declared federally at a national level. But martial law, according to what I'm reading, has never been declared over the whole nation.
Right. So
That's
why are we
never
even talking about
happened.
something that has never happened?
So when you say
Not in
that you
our
don't want the
lifetime.
next step to be martial law, that's why I'm like, well, I'm wondering where is he saying, like, I don't want it to be in Ohio